Hey y'all, I am back again with another episode of No Melanin Talks, and you know I am your host with the most, Janessa. I'm here again to talk with you about self-consciousness. So I'm setting my timer. Boom, let's go. So let's start out with understanding what self-consciousness is. The dictionary defines it as feeling undue awareness of oneself, one's appearance, or one's own actions. And when you think about your life, you might not have been aware that you were being self-conscious, but a lot of times we are self-conscious about our looks, like they said, one's appearance or what you might have, what you might possess, your actions, things like that. A lot of times, oh wait, let me make sure I got my timer on. Okay. So a lot of times we can be super self-conscious about those areas within our lives, so much so that it will cause us to really back up on doing things or talking to people or trying new things or being adventurous because we are self-conscious about what we have or our actions or even how we look. And I thought about this subject today as I was thinking, I'm like, what can I talk about for today's episode? And I immediately thought about this because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real. I thought about it because I was getting ready to go out today. I was getting ready to leave, just run some errands, and I looked and I had a breakout. I've had an acne breakout on my face. And I was looking at it, and one of the thoughts in my mind was, girl, are you gonna put some makeup on that? And I was like, no, I'm not putting makeup on this. Like, hey, it is what it is. And I remember being younger, always being, because I when I was a teenager, I had acne so bad. And I know some of y'all out there can relate. You know, those teenage hormones can just really do a doozy on you. So my acne as a teenager was insane. And I didn't really wear makeup like that at the time because, you know, I was a young girl, so I wasn't playing in that stuff yet. Mom and daddy wouldn't let me wear makeup yet. So I always felt super self-conscious. In addition to the other things that I had going on, I felt super self-conscious about my face specifically because I had the worst breakouts ever. So comparing myself being a teenager at that time to now, the age that I'm at now, I'm like, girl, what pimples? Let's go. Like, I'm packing my bags, like, okay, I need to go here. I'm more concerned about where I'm going and what I need to do when I get there as opposed to how my face looks. And if you see my pimples, hey, you just see them. You probably got some too, and if you don't, that's awesome for you. But yeah, every now and then, I still have my occasional flare-ups, breakouts, what have you. And yeah, I clean my face, but hey, it's hormonal. It's things that just happen. It is what it is. So ladies, gents, boys, girls, those of you who know, you know. And I guess in some ways, do you think you can grow out of self-consciousness? Like the example that I just gave a minute ago. Do you feel like you can grow out of it? Like you can be extremely aware of yourself at a certain age or a certain period of your life. I've heard women state this, you know, after pregnancy, they become self-conscious about certain things. It's just an overall life change that happens that can cause you to become self-conscious. Men have it as well. We all have it in different ways. So is it something that you feel like you grow out of depending on the stage or life level that you're at? Or do you think that this is something that can be long lasting? I would say it probably can be a mixture of both. Because like I said, being a teenager, I was extremely self-conscious about the acne. It was a very big thing for me, as opposed to now, I don't care. Like if I'm going out, I'm not putting anything on unless I feel like it. And even then, it's not necessarily because I'm super, super, super embarrassed about someone seeing my acne flare up or my pimple flare up. So I think that in those instances, it can be momentary. It's not really long lasting. But then I think we also have those moments in our lives where it's very much where it can turn into something that's long term. It's not necessarily short term. That's the word I was looking for. Short term versus long term. I think that long term self-consciousness can develop into more serious things in our lives if we really don't make them if we don't monitor them in the proper way or the correct way. Because again, using the acne as an example, you know, obviously I do use things to prevent my acne flare-ups and things like that. And in fact, let me stop being rude and just show y'all a picture of what I'm talking about. Y'all see? You know, it just does what it wants to do. So obviously I use things that help me with my acne, but life is just life and skin is skin and it's going to do what it wants to do. So, you know, I lost my train of thought. What was the point I was trying to make? I forgot. What was my point? I forgot my point, and I'm at 3 minutes, and I forgot the point I was trying to make. But anyway, the point is, I believe that it can be long-term or short-term. So let me know in the comments how you feel about self-consciousness. Do you look at it as a negative thing, or do you look at it as a positive thing? This is the part that I would like to really jump into, because I feel like a lot of times, especially when we talk about low self-esteem and things like that, we focus on the negative sides of self-consciousness because it can turn into something that is very negative. I think that's what I was going to say earlier. It can. But then I think there's a positive side to it as well, where you become so aware of yourself, so conscious of yourself, that you begin to see, like it said, the definition talked about actions. You begin to see that certain actions or behaviors that you do or that you portray can be hurtful or harmful toward others, even yourself. You know, if you look at it from that lens, you can make those corrections regarding your life, regarding the words that you speak, how you entreat people, how you act in situations where you're not getting your way. I think in those instances, it's healthy to be self-conscious because it keeps you on your toes in regards to how you are as a person and as an individual. So you have to learn to look at it in both ways and not always see self-consciousness as a unhealthy thing. So let me know if you agree with that or if you disagree with it. But I do. I think that there are pros and cons to self-consciousness, and you just have to know as the individual how to gauge them. Or as a parent, if you're dealing with a child or children, you have to, first of all, present that to them in a way where they will understand how to do it in that way, weigh the pros and the cons of self-consciousness. And then if you are an adult, you just have to really do the work in figuring out the negative side to being self-conscious, which is, you know, always hiding yourself because you're embarrassed about acne or weight or lack of weight, or you might be disabled, or you might have different things going on in your body that causes you to be or have to do things a little bit differently from others. You know, those types of self-conscious areas are things that I believe are hurdles to our success, and especially when it's just a natural part of life. And as I always say in regards to albinism and pretty much anything else, God chose us to be this way on purpose, for a purpose. So in that case, what are we hiding for? What are we ducking and dodging for? You know, this is where God wants us to be, how he wants us to be. Some people are self-conscious about their teeth or their lips or their noses or their eyes. And, you know, just these different things can really cause a person to not like who they are. And when it turns into that, that's the unhealthy side. That's one of the cons of being self-conscious. But the positive side to it is, like I said, being aware of yourself, being so conscious of yourself that no, you're not perfect, but you aim every day to treat people with respect. You aim to do more for others. You aim to watch and monitor your responses. If you are a manager or a supervisor or a teacher or whomever, mother, father, sister, brother, you care about the relationships and the people in your lives so much that you're unwilling to treat them any less than anything else. You know, you care so much. It's just so much that goes into it, that your mental way of thinking and just rationalizing things, you aim to not always be negative, but you aim to always see the good in people, the good in things. You know, you're just at a higher level of consciousness that probably many in your peer group is not aware of, because it's so uncommon to be so aware of yourself and how you treat people. You find it normal to go back and apologize when you've made a mistake or when you've done things that have hurt others. You know, that's that self-consciousness, that self-awareness that is very positive, and we could use much more of it in this day and in this world that we're living in now. So like I said, just let me know your thoughts and your opinions on it. Let me know what you think, and let's just talk about it. As usual, y'all, my 10 minutes, they're up. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this talk and that you become more self-aware and learn how to use self-consciousness in a way that benefits you as opposed to hurting you. So again, just talk to me in the comments and let me know how much you like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And y'all know I'll be back with more No Melanin Talks. So stay tuned. I love y'all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. How do I sound right here? Do I sound muffled? Am I getting muffled? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's my sound check.